Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're not building anything. We're going to talk about workshop safety. So I know everybody always talks all the time, and I'm guilty of it too. We're comparing new tools and what they can do and building stuff and everything like that, but we're never showing you the safety side of woodworking or just doing anything in your shop. But this is going to be focused towards woodworking, right? So I laid out what I think is the top 5 most important safety things that you need to do or have in your shop. So let's get started. All right guys, number 1, we're starting with the fire extinguisher. Now this here is an ABC fire extinguisher, all right? What that means is it will do anything. This is the easiest way I was taught to remember this. A stands for anything that creates an ash, right? Any combustibles, trash, wood, or paper. Obviously in a wood shop we have a lot of wood. The B is for liquids. Anything that goes boom, it's gonna blow up on you, like gasoline or your paint thinners, anything like that, okay? And C is for electrical, which would be current. Anything carries a current. So if you have, if your table saw motor catches on fire, you could use a fire extinguisher like this to put that out. Now the biggest thing to remember on a fire extinguisher like this is not a very big one at all, right? It is not going to do much for you. All you want to do is make sure your gauge is in the green. If it falls over here to recharge, this fire extinguisher is no good for you. So make sure you keep an eye on these. Check them out every once in a while, right? Don't just hang it in your shop and leave it for the next 20 years and forget about it. All right guys, the second thing we're going to talk about is respirators, breathing, right? You need fresh air to breathe. Now obviously a respirator is a great way to go. You need to make sure you have the right cartridges for what you're doing though, okay? If you're painting or something, that's going to be a different cartridge than what you would use if you were just doing woodworking and creating dust. Now something else that really helps, and I'll just show you right here, I have this fresh air filter hanging in my garage in my shop. It's actually right above the camera right now. And then also on my dust collector, I have I think it's a 1 micron filter on the dust collector. So these are very important. You want to protect your lungs, all right? You don't want to do woodworking to be all hardcore and this and that, and then by the time you be 50, 60 years old, you can't breathe and everything else is bad for you. So now one thing I will tell you about these, this one's a little more better than an N95, but you need to do a check with your doctor first, honestly, before you're going to wear something like this or even bigger than this one, all right? Make sure you can handle wearing it. Now, if you're like I am right now with a beard, this mask ain't going to do me much good. These need to be able to seal to your face, all right? Even if you're wearing an N95 dust mask, just the paper cheap mask, you know, you still want a good seal around your face. So this would work for normal stuff, but like I said, you don't want somebody like me with a big beard. Ain't gonna do me a lot of good right now. So I kind of rely on just my overhead air filtration system and then my filtration system on my dust collector. All right, next thing we're talking about is your eyes. You only get one set of eyes, right? You want to protect them. Safety glasses, these have the built-in side shield. These are the Z87.1, which means they are shatter resistant. So they're not gonna hurt nothing's gonna break through these and hurt your eyes. Don't think just because you get some clear glasses from the gas station that they're going to be safety glasses. They need to be Z87. These are going to protect your eyes. And as you can see, you got the wraparound right here. It's going to protect the sides from stuff coming into your eyes, all right? You also have face shields. I wear this a lot when I'm grinding. And the reason I do that is because, and actually you'll probably make fun of me, when I was doing pipe fitting way back in the day when I first got out of the Army, we always had to wear safety glasses like this with the face shield like this. We had to do double eye protection, which is fine. But I've had too many times in my days of doing stuff at home and I ended up having to go to the ER to get a piece of metal dug out of my eye, and it does not feel good at all. And then you look like a weirdo going to work on Monday because normally you have a patch over your eye still. So protect your eyes, get something to Z87. You know it's going to be shatterproof and it's going to protect you. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is your hands. You got to be able to protect your hands. You don't want to lose your fingers and look like that guy you see, some old man somewhere and he's missing half of all of his fingers, right? We don't want to be like that. I have a bunch of different push sticks here. So I have these that I make. They're nothing special. You can make these on your own, any design you want. I like to have a big handle on them, like so, and I like to have a big surface area that's going to sit on whatever board I'm pushing through my table saw. These work good too. This one came with my table saw that I have. I just don't like, there's just not a lot here. It says basically a push. This is more of a push, and I can control it and keep it from kicking back on me, okay? But like I said, these still work and these still serve a purpose. Sometimes I will use this one to hold a board in this way towards the blade, and I'm pushing through this way and I'm running them together. You can do that. not a big deal. Or you can get online, you can buy a fancy push stick. There's companies out there that make them, they're really nice. We also have paddles. These paddles come with joiners typically. I think these came with my joiner. I can't remember exactly, but you can use these on your joiner, and you can use them on a router table. They got this angle to them, so that way your hand's not up close, you're kind of out of the way. So for instance, if we was going to route this, we could hold them like this, keep our hands out of the way and run it around the bit as we go, right? These are really handy to have. This one would also be good if you're using a bandsaw. You need something smaller to push through. Obviously you don't want to try to do something this big on a bandsaw. So anything you're doing, just be careful. Use a stick, keep your fingers, okay? Not everybody can afford one of them fancy saws that are going to stop automatically, but that's only taking care of one tool in your garage, right? You still got other tools that you can use push sticks for. All right, guys. Last thing we're going to talk about probably never gets thought about in a shop at all, especially if you're just doing work at your home on your own. Lockout, tagout. Now, obviously, we're not going to lock out a saw, like a table saw, for instance. We're not going to put a padlock and a tag on it saying do not operate. We don't need to do that. We're working by ourselves, but we still got to be smart. So for instance, if I was changing a bit out in this router and I got the battery on it right now, you can see it works. This bit is going to tear your hand to pieces if for some reason something malfunctions. If this switch malfunctions and this router turns on while I'm up here changing the bit out, it is going to hurt me very badly. So a good instance for a battery operated tool, take your battery out, okay? Now we have no power to it, it does not work. We can safely change our bit and do what we need to do, and then we put the power back to it, okay? That's pretty easy. Now with power tools, same thing. I'm working by myself and I need to change this blade out on this saw. I'm going to unplug it first. Not only am I going to unplug it, I'm going to keep control of this plug. So if, say me and my buddy are out here working in the garage together building something, I don't want him to be like, oh, we need the track saw next, and he's going to go plug this in not knowing that I'm changing the blade on it, and all of a sudden I'm going to get my hand cut off because of something silly. So this is your form of lockout tagout when you're working by yourself. All right, guys, hopefully you learned something today in this video. That was the whole point of it, was kind of a teaching moment and just trying to share experiences here with you guys. So any of this stuff that you see up here, it's nothing expensive. This is stuff you can easily go to any of your big box stores, either the orange one or the blue one, maybe some other stores if you have them in your area. But a fire extinguisher can be, you can pick one of these up anywhere. You can get them even at Walmart, I believe. But just make sure, like I said, you get an ABC, get one that's the right size for your garage, or even pick up a couple of these, all right? The respirator, same thing. You can get these or dust masks anywhere. That's not a big deal. Push sticks like these, the paddles, or even one like this that comes with your saw, these you probably have to buy online. I don't have any stores around me that would sell these off the shelf. But like I said, these you can build on your own. Very simple to build. I like making them out of just cheap plywood. These are all just scrap wood I had. And the great thing about it is once they get tore up or you cut through the center of one on your table saw, no one cares. Throw it away and make another one, all right? Safety glasses we can get anywhere. Heck, half of you probably have to wear these at work anyways. You already got your Z87 safety glasses, not a big deal. Face shields can be picked up about any store. Like again, your big box stores. I know Harbor Freight sells face shields. You can even get the ones that are not quite as nice as this with the cover over the top, but with replaceable lenses in them, all right? And then your lockout tagout, you don't even gotta buy nothing for that. You just gotta think, stop and take your time, remove the power source from whatever tool you're using before you're making a change, whether it be a blade or a bit or anything like that, all right? So hopefully this video was helpful, and make sure you subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll see you all next time.